Hello everyone, I'm Zerodaimaru, and welcome back to Big Pharma. So, I have kind of figured out, after a little bit of looking, what our next product is going to be. And if we take a look over here, we're going to go up the liver tree. Now, we don't know kind of what follows combats liver disease, but I do know that upgrading prevents gout to combats liver disease is going to be super simple, because this catalyst is already on our ingredient that prevents gout. We go to our ingredients list, prevents gout, blurred vision, gives us that. So all we have to do is jump this up to a between 6 to 8, and then run it through a dissolver, and we'll get our combats liver disease, and we can kind of see where we need to go from there. So I've already gone ahead and purchased this building over here, and this is going to be where we're going to do our next production line. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So we're going to bring this guy in. And the first little bit of this line is mostly going to be for testing to see what we need, and then we kind of work from there. So it starts at a 2. We're going to want to run that through not an ionizer, Jimmy, an agglomerator. We don't have any of those, right? But we actually do. So let's grab this guy and just put him right here. In goes you, and then do I have another agglomerator? I do not. So let's run him through another agglomerator. And then from there, we need a dissolver. And again, I don't think I have one of those. I do not. Just like so. In there, and in there. All right, let's unpause and kind of see what we come up with and what we have to go and where we have to go from here. And I'll probably sell a couple of pills just to get this in my company list so I can have it for future reference. All right, prevents gout. It's within the range that we need. The upper range, but it'll still do the job. We can go ahead and up the speed a little bit here. And into the dissolver it goes. Why did that not work? Oh, somewhere along the lines we accidentally removed our blur's vision. Oh, we can't run it through. Okay, that's a problem. Stop everything. Stop everything. We've made a mistake. So we cannot run it through an agglomerator to start with. We have to get it out of that range first and foremost. And to do that, we're going to need to use some evaporators then. So we need to get it at least to 4, and after we're at 4, we can run it through an agglomerator. So let's go evaporator, like so. From there we go agglomerator. And from there we go into a dissolver. Oops, that's not going to work. I'm a moron. Nope. God's sake, you go there. I want the dissolver. That goes there. Thank you. Alright, so that should still have the blurred vision on it. That runs it through there, which brings us up to a 7. And then we run it through a dissolver, which drops us to a 6 and gives us our combats liver disease, which cannot be upgraded. Ha! Well, that bites. So maybe the liver tree is not so good. Is that even worth selling? Well, it does add like $468 to the pill. Upgrading to combat liver disease. And we don't have to do a lot to do it. And going up to where it's active is basically going to deactivate both of the side effects. So I think it might actually still be worth it to do it. We just won't need that whole building to do it in. So I'm kind of wondering if this is the building I want to set it up in, or if I want to set it up in one of these buildings down here. Because again, we can set up a pretty easy line. It's not going to take up a lot of space. Yeah, you know what? We can take up like a little corner of this building here and then use the rest of it on something else. That'll be fine. So let's see, is there a way that we can kind of improve this setup here? Because I was just more or less putting this down to try to get it out of the way quickly. What if we move this guy? Nah, nothing we can really do there. I think that's about as efficient as he's going to get. This guy, though, we can just kind of move everything over by 1 to get better use of the corner space. Like that. Alright, and then after we're in the dissolver, I forget how far, what we needed to do. I'll have to take a look. So it comes through, activates the blurred vision, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and up the speed. Higher tax on alcohol has stopped people binge drinking. This is son of a... Oh well. Those don't last very long, and I've already put enough effort into this that I'm gonna, you know, go ahead and keep working on it. Alright. So now we need to upgrade this to 17 to get out of our blood pressure range, right? So to do that, if we go up by 3, that brings us to 9. 9 would become 12. Or we could go, or we could run it through a cryogenic condenser, which brings us to 12 right off the bat, and then from there we go up by 3, which brings us to 15. What if we ran through another evaporator that brings us to 7, which brings us up to 14, and then through another agglomerator brings us up to, through another agglomerator that brings us up to 17, right? 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. So from there we need a evaporator, which we can put, say, right there. And then from that we need 2 of our cryogenic condensers. Let's see if we go something like this. Get you out of the way. And this is where we start to lose a little bit of our efficiency, but this should still be okay. From there to there. They come out here. And then what did I say? I needed to run it through another agglomerator. Goes in there, and then we need a pill printers. That's where things kind of start to fall apart a little bit, because I'm just a little bit out of room. So I can buy a tile. I need it to be here, essentially, so I could maybe... No. The other option is I go here, like that, back these up a space. So there, and there. And then we come from here to there, wrap around to there, into the agglomerator. Agglomerator goes pill printer, pill printer, pill printers go out the door. Just like so. A little bit of wasted space in here, but I'm not really sure that there is a way that I could have used that better. Maybe there is. I'm not seeing it, though. And that is good enough for what we need anyway. So this comes out. It goes through here. Make sure that my math is right by following things along. That becomes a 7, which comes up here. Goes into the cryogenic condenser. Becomes a 14. Gets put into here, which becomes a 17, and perfect. What do we got? Ah, we have our centrifuge. Cool. That'll be something to play with on our next drug, maybe. Alright, so I also want to kind of pick up these guys, because these guys actually seem really useful. So we need 6 scientists there. So let's go ahead and grab that. We'll hire 1 more to keep our regular research going. Our upgrade research, I should say. And we need to decide kind of what the next thing we're going to upgrade is. These pill printers, they're not at the point where they're adding a lot. What are our other options? That's $15 for each cure effect that we add on to it. Let me see. That is $20 to run currently. So that could give us up to a $12 increase per pill. But it seems like the sachet maker might be the better thing to focus on kind of going forward. Depending on either the sachet maker or the... What's this? Syringes have an increased combined value and effective strength compared to other delivery methods. Oh, that's kind of neat. So yeah, it seems like the pill printer might be falling out of regular use fairly soon. So maybe we want to save our upgrade points. You know, the creamer seems like it still might be something useful to have around in case we make something that has, you know, a whole bunch of negative effects that we can't do a lot about. And actually, that reduces them by quite a bit, like a 70% reduction in the on the side effects of drugs. I think I'll take that over, you know, a small increase in profit that we're going to be able to do better with by using these in the future. That is my thinking anyway. So let's go ahead. We have a centrifuge that's done. Where they okay, and they're doing the processing now. Do I maybe want to focus on my other delivery methods before that though? Nah, we're gonna want it all eventually, so that's fine. We'll just leave it as it is. Anyway, carrying on with what we were doing down here. This is now a 17, which is perfect. It goes into the pill maker. And out comes our combat liver disease pill. We're going to go ahead and name that. That's fine. So not as much profit on that one as I was hoping. But then again, we also haven't gotten our rating yet, and we're probably looking at a B to an A, I would think. So if I go over to my company here real quick. So currently we're at a C, which is fine. Oh wow, our erectile dysfunction thing is up to a B+ so far. So we're making some good cash on that one. Even with all the other effects on it, they're not holding a candle to the actual main effect that we're getting. So that's super nice to see. All right, we're already up to a C+ on this guy. That's making us a little bit more money. It's not going to come in, you know, with these guys here, but you know, and currently actually, if I go to my cures page, combat liver disease has seen a little bit of a recession thanks to that event that is still going on. Should be back soon, you know, anyway. So yeah, and 30 pills is getting us a 60% saturation of the market, which is, so we don't want to set up another line or anything like that. So that seems like a pretty good setup for that. What do we want to work on next, since we still have a little bit of time? We could go up to treating bronchitis from easing asthma. That's entirely possible. We're still a little bit away from being able to do anything like, you know, anesthetics, male contraceptives, or combating AIDS. How are we looking on ingredients? Do we have a new ingredient coming in soon? Not too far away. I don't think it's going to be anything super duper amazing though. It's for digestion. You can calm acid reflux there to start with, which doesn't make a ton of money, but I mean, who knows what it upgrades to, right? We could go hypertension, angia. I think we have a hypertension pill. Yeah, this one here. Fortunately, you can't really see what its upgrade path is. You know, we don't know where treats angia goes. Maybe going up the skin line is maybe our better option here. Soothes rash to prevent acne to, you know, maybe something else, whatever follows after acne. I think that'll be what we do. I think we'll go soothes rash, acne, and then kind of keep going down the tree as we were planning. So actually, let's go ahead and start doing our research on that, and then we can maybe work on a line in the next episode. So let's go ahead. We'll go... Oh, we got our research done. Cool. So what do we want those 5 scientists to be working on? Well, if I wanted to, I could potentially hire what? I'd hire one more. We have the money for it. Yeah, let's hire one more, and we'll work on our advanced delivery kind of at the same time. I got a new competitor. I don't really care at this point. All right, as I was saying, let's go ahead. We need our skin medication. Oh, we just got... Yeah, cause soothing acid reflux. Let's get them working on something else before I move on here. That's got a nice catalyst on it, so we're going to grab that. And soothes rash. This is what we wanted to grab. So we'll grab you. What do we need to upgrade you? That's the wrong one. This one. Oh yeah, this one needs a catalyst upgrade, doesn't it? So we would have to mix that in with a 2-prong catalyst. And where are our 2-prong catalysts? We can either mix it in with this guy here, And it all kind of depends on where things are for us. If I shake this guy here, so that this empty slot moves down here, mix it with this so that we just grab the Sue's Rash here, because all this other stuff we don't want. Causes fatigue, though, has got a pretty large area. Not massively hard to remove, but this one would be starting at 20, and we'd have to drop it to almost 0. So, not so good there. Where does this need to be to upgrade? Right at 10, so we go basically shaker for this guy, drop it down, mixer to bring these two together, using this as our base. It'll come out as a 20. We drop it through a cryogenic condenser. No, a auto flux for whatever, the thing that halves the concentration, which then gives us our 10. We run that through an evaporator, which will bring us up to an 11. And that'll bring us actually pretty close to being able to remove the cause dizziness, which we won't need because we'll already have upgraded. Alright, so I'm thinking that's the plan here. So we'll have to bring in this guy here. And we're just going to do one line for now, as I said. This is mostly a test to see where things are. Actually, let's centrifuge. Swaps effects between 2 ingredients. Maybe that's a better way to do it. Let's take another look then at our ingredients. So we can swap the top 2 or the bottom 2. So we have Sue's Rash and Cause Dizziness over here. We can maybe, if we shake it, that comes up there, and then we're basically doing the same thing that I want to do anyway. So no, that doesn't really help us on this one. At least not yet. So that's fine. So anyway, as I was saying, we bring that in, we go auxiliary shaker, which goes in like that. Then from there we go to a mixer. Like that. Stop. Kill that. Let this go in. Alright, it would have been fine anyway, but I wanted to make sure. So bring this guy in. We mix them together. Boom. And then, from there, we run through, as I was saying, the, what are they called? Autoclaves. That's the one. We go maybe something like that. Which halves our concentration. And then we run it through an evaporator. And let's see what that gives us. Alright, prevents acne is down there. We can upgrade it to a restore hair with a sequencer. But that's not super handy. And it's kind of in a bad spot. We could cause dizziness by upgrading it 2 more times, which would bring us to, let's say 3, that way we can use an... Actually, no, 2 evaporators. We got plenty of space. So we go 2 evaporators, which brings us up to 13. Then we run it through an ionizer, which drops us down to 10. Then we run it through... What do we need? Where's the 5? So we need to bring it down to a 4. If we run it through another autoclave, that would drop us down to... What? Where was I? We were at 10, right? Yeah, so that'd drop us to a 5. But is it maybe more worth it to go ionizer? No, because one of these things run, even though we would need 2 of them, they're only $45 to run per pill, right? So as long as it's removing more than, say, 4, which it would be, it'd be removing 5, I think it's worth it to run these autoclaves. Which would then... we needed that to upgrade this, right? Yeah. So we run it through 2 more evaporators, an ionizer, and then an autoclave. and then a dissolver, just to get it down to 4. And that'll turn this off while only having this on, but it's not really worth that much. Like, it seems like we're going to be putting a lot of effort into upgrading something that isn't really worthwhile. So maybe this is, you know, something we'll sell a couple of just to add it to my list, so I know where it is in the future if we want to come back to it, and then just kind of not worry about it. Because I don't think this is, I was hoping that this might be something a little bit, you know, more decent, but unfortunately it's turned out to kind of not be. Not with all that we're going to have to do to it to make it, you know, work. So, yeah, I'm not, actually, you know what, I'm not even going to bother doing that. I think I'll just forget about this one for now and kind of focus on something else in the next episode. So, unfortunately, that last little bit was a little bit of wasted time, but we did get our liver disease pill up and out the door, and it's doing fairly well for us. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at our company page before we go. Yeah, it's already up to a B. It's making about, you know, $200, almost $300 of profit per pill, which is, granted, as I said, not our biggest thing ever, but it's not bad. So guys, thank you very much for watching this episode. I do appreciate it, and I hope you will join me for the next episode of Big Pharma. So long. Hey guys, so I realized I already ended the episode, but I wanted to come back because I was taking a look after I ended the episode, and I realized that we're pretty close to being done this challenge. Being expert is probably a couple months away. So I'm honestly thinking at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and let this one run at the clock, and we're not really going to have to worry about not meeting our deadline, I think. We have 15 months, you know, to make the money, and we're pretty much already there. Now then again. Yeah, no, we'll be fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one run out, and that will that'll essentially end this challenge, I think. This was a pretty fun one, I have to say. Had a lot of fun with kind of what we ended up setting up as far as our cures are concerned. You know, we did quite a few interesting things. I'm especially happy with this guy right here. Like this setup right here was just so good. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I had a lot of fun with this one, and this type of stuff. Yeah, and there it is. Boom. And it's this kind of stuff that I really enjoy about games like this. Setting up these great big, you know, lines that are, you know, just have all these different moving parts and everything else. And I know the one complaint I've had so far, and I mean I realize I could keep going, but it seems a little pointless. Is I haven't had a game yet where I haven't hit the goal marker before I've gotten these guys here. Like, I've never gotten a chance to play around with these guys. I mean, I researched the centrifuge, but I never even got a chance to play with that this round. Like, the challenges almost don't seem to last long enough, and there's not really... I mean, there's one more difficulty level to move up to, and that's the crippling debt. There's also quick start, but I think that's more or less the same as what we're doing now. You just get to skip maybe the first couple of months as far as, you know, progress is concerned. But I don't know, maybe the, you know, the big money ones are super easy. I'm not honestly all that sure. But either way, guys, you know, I'm probably going to take a quick break, or a small break from this one. Maybe focus on some other games for the channel. But the Big Pharma will be back, maybe even before the backlog of episodes that I have on this is complete. So I might actually not be telling you guys anything super truthful here, but it's going to be a little while before I record it again. But there might not be a break in episodes. We'll see. So with that said, guys, thank you ever so much for watching yet again, and so